20 minutes past 9. I'm delighted to say we're joined by Tipp captain Noel McGrath. Noel, good morning to you. How are you?
Good, Ger, now and yourself?
Yeah, pretty good. Is captaincy something that you've been looking forward to? Is it something you're going to enjoy, do you think?
Yeah, look, it's a lovely honour to be asked to do the job. And yeah, it's definitely something I'd be looking forward to. It's a big honour to captain your county or your club, and to be given the chance to do it for 2023 is a nice honour and something that I'll be looking forward to when the season rolls around.
Who were the captains, the best captains you would have played with coming through? Because you've literally had some of the best captains in hurling history, right?
Yeah, look, I suppose when I started, Conor O'Mahony was Tipp captain for a year or two, and then Owen Kelly was captain in 2010, obviously when we won the All Ireland. So that's not a bad start to have as a youngster coming into the panel with Owen Kelly as your captain. And yeah, like through the years, then there's been different captains, like I suppose lads around my age that I've grown up with who've been captains of different teams, and the Tipp senior hurling team with Brendan Maher and Shane McCallan, I suppose, and Pádraig Maher. The three of them have captain Tipp, and they're three lads that I would have looked up to all my career, I suppose, not alone just when they were captains, but yeah, like they were great lads to look up to, and great people to I suppose to learn from and to follow.
And do you think you'll take a little bit from all of them? Will you just try and do what it is that comes naturally to you yourself? Is it something you'll work on separately to your own game?
No, look, I think it's something that you just go with. You don't really change much, to be honest, Ger. I've been captain of my club a few times over the last number of years, and you just go and go about your business, and you train the way you always train. You work hard. And you put in the same effort that you do, no matter what title I suppose you have behind your name. So yeah, you just go with what's natural to yourself. It's a great honour, but at the same time, you have to go and perform on the training field and on match day when it comes as well. So yeah, look, I'll be looking to, I suppose, not to change too much of how I prepare and how I play over the next number of months, and I'm looking forward to, I suppose, helping any of the younger lads if they need anything, or anyone at all on the panel, I suppose, if they have any questions or anything that they need, and I'll be there to support them and support anyone that looks for any help.
Does it slightly amend, Noel, the way in which you have to behave in the dressing room? Like, do you have to be, as a result of that armband, more vocal? Do you have to kind of sit players down and deal with other things off the pitch as well, or how does it affect you in that regard?
No, look, I think, to be honest, as I said, you just go about your business the same way that you do. If there are little bits and pieces that need to be done as captain, I'll just take them on board and go with them. But I suppose the management team look after everything there, and they deal with any issues, I suppose, that players have, or any queries and questions that players have. And if anyone comes to me and anyone needs a steer in any direction, or help in any direction, or a bit of advice in any direction, I'm definitely there to help as well. But no, I think, look, at the end of the day, you lead by how you train and how you apply yourself, and that's something that I'll be doing. I suppose that I have done, I suppose, over the years, and it's something that I pride myself on, is how I prepare myself and get myself ready to train and to play, and that won't change, and that'll be something that I'll be open to do and going forward in 2023.
Liam Cahill named a 40 strong winter panel there last week for the upcoming month or two. You have the two younger brothers as well, John and Brian, named on the panel. Like, I mean, they're probably used to you being the boss at home. Does it affect them, the fact that you're the captain of the team now?
No, it doesn't. No, look, I suppose it's great to have the two boys there. But look, when we go training with either Lockmore, Castleiney or Tipperary, we're just three lads going in there to do your best, the same as everybody else. And it'll be no different next year. And look, I suppose there's a 40-man panel there, and plenty of new faces, which is great for Tipperary, and lads that are going to be putting their hand up and looking to get their place on teams and on panels, and that's the way it has to be. And it's great to see that freshness, and for me, I suppose, someone who's been around for a few years, like, to see all that coming in gives you a bit of energy, and it kind of re-energizes me and makes me have to make sure that I'm on my game every night I go in train, that I'm prepared every night that I go train. And that's how sport works. And I suppose that's the way top level sport and competitive sport needs to be, that you have new players coming all the time, and players with hunger and desire and looking to wear the Tipp jersey. And I'm really looking forward to the challenge in 2023. I suppose 2022 was a disappointing season for everybody involved in Tipp hurling, and so look, I suppose we're looking to get ourselves back on track again in over the coming months, and see where that takes us in 2023.
It's going to be mad this next year. It's the first year in the post-Cody era. Davies and Waterford, you mentioned Owen Kelly, a Tipp legend, in the backroom team there. We had Clare burst out last year and fully show us exactly what they were capable of doing. And we have Limerick on the verge of becoming the greatest team of all time. So a nice handy championship for you to cut your teeth as captain next year.
Yeah, look, it's dog eat dog out there. I think, I suppose, hurling the 90s, I suppose, and the middle 90s, I suppose, a lot of teams came and there was different teams winning All Irelands. And even in the last number of years, there's I suppose before Limerick got their period of dominance, there was a few different teams that won All Irelands. So look, it's a great time to be involved in intercounty hurling. It's exciting. Some of the games over the last few years, I suppose COVID, with no crowds, I suppose, took away bits from it. But since the round robin has been introduced, I think some of the games and the matches that have been played in that and in them championships have been unbelievable. Excitement, and as you mentioned, new teams coming that maybe hadn't been there a year or two beforehand and competing at serious levels. And just, I suppose, it brings the excitement of what hurling is back to people, and it gives people hope, I suppose, that if you do put in the work, and if you, I suppose, get a run together and get things right, that every team has a chance on any given day. And that's all you can ask for, I suppose, is that you prepare well, and then if you bring it out on match day, well, you don't know what's going to happen then. So yeah, look, 2023 is going to be massively interesting, and one that I'm really, really looking forward to being involved in.
You obviously were part of a team that stopped Kilkenny doing their 5 in a row. So within Tipperary, within the institution of Tipperary hurling, there is this knowledge of what it takes to stop the greatest teams. Is there similar conversations happening about this Limerick team at the moment? Because the rest of the country is obviously fascinated with how far they can go and what their absolute peak is. But at the same time, like the Munster final 2 years ago, the first half of that performance was one of the best 35 minutes of hurling we've seen from anybody against Limerick. The second half of that was best 35 minutes we've seen from Limerick, potentially, maybe apart from the All-Ireland final against Cork, and they were perfect in that first half. So you've seen both sides of Limerick. You've seen how to go toe-to-toe with them. You've seen them at their absolute pomp. What are your thoughts on where they are at the moment?
Yeah, look, they're the standout team at the moment. They've I suppose taken the game to a new level in how they play and how they prepare, and I suppose the rest of us are looking at it and trying to get there. And for us in Tipp, I suppose, given the year that's gone, like we're I suppose a bit away from that at the moment. Like I suppose we didn't win a game in Munster, and we need to, I suppose, to get ourselves back to a level where we're competing first, and then we can think about taking on the likes of Limerick and Kilkennys and Corks and Waterfords and Clare. But at the moment, I suppose we just need to get our house in order and get ourselves back to a level where we can compete at that highest level. Like the standard of some of the games in the championship last year were unbelievable. I was at the Munster final in Thurles, and it was unreal, like the pace and the power and the skill and the excitement. Like, so that's, I suppose, what gets the excitement levels going, and that's, I suppose, what keeps me going and what keeps players going is games like that you want to be involved in. And look, as a hurler and as a Tipperary hurler, I no doubt that that's where we want to go and that's where we want to get to. But I understand too that we have a lot of work to do, and to get ourselves right first when we get back training in the new year and into February and March during the league. And then you can see where you're going after that. But we are, I suppose, after the year gone, we need to just get ourselves back to that competitive level again. And that's a challenge that I'm looking forward to as a player, and all the other players and the management are really looking forward to it as well. And look, as a player, you always dream, and like the dream obviously is to win Munster finals, to win All Ireland finals, and to be there and thereabouts and competing every year. And that won't change for me, and that's where we want to get to. There's no doubt about that. But at the moment, I suppose we just have to take stock of where we are, get our house in order over the next few weeks or next few months, and look, you'd see where you are then come February or March, and hopefully we'll be in a good place and able to compete with the teams at the top.
When you talk about keeping players going, Noel, I guess there's always the rumour mill when there's veterans on a team as to whether they'll continue. And Shamie Callanan, 34, Bonner Maher, 33, they've both opted to keep going and continue next year. Bit of a boost when you see players like that with the experience. And look, both played on those 3 All-Ireland winning teams over the last 12 years with yourself. So good to have that experience still involved.
Yeah, it is. Like, they're 2 top-class players, and that can bring massive experience and massive knowledge and loads of skill and work and just good attitudes around the group. And there'll be lads that'll tie in with the rest of the group, and there'll be players that'll look up to them and look for guidance from them as well, and they'll be pushing to try and compete and play as well. So look, it's in any team you need different demographics and different ages and different characters, and the more I suppose that you have, the better chance. And then when you pull all that together, you create a team and you create a panel and a group that are open to do something and to go somewhere. And like, I think a lot can be made of age, but lads look after themselves so well nowadays that if you're able to play and you have the hunger and you're willing to put in that work, well, I don't think it matters if you're 19 or 20 or if you're 33 or 34. I suppose take TJ Reid, for example. He was one of the best players in the championship last year, and still one of the best players in the whole country. So I don't think age really comes into it if someone has the desire and the willingness to compete and play for the team and put in that work. And it's great to have them 2 boys back in tow for 2023.
You're going to have to start answering those questions in a couple of years' time yourself. I do wonder if the split season might help players who are in their 30s to continue for an extra couple of years, in that the release valve of being with your club, I know obviously you take it incredibly seriously and it's very important to you, and you look after yourself the same way you would do in season, but it's a different type of pressure, and maybe the condensed nature of the senior intercounty season might allow players in their 30s to extend their careers. I'm interested in your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I suppose there's a good chance that it will. I suppose the intercounty season is shorter. You're not waiting for 4, 5, 6 weeks maybe between matches, and that definitely keeps players' appetite high and keeps your motivation high. I remember back around 2017 or 18, I think we lost the first round of Munster Championship, and we had no match for 6 weeks after that. And it's hard. Like, you train for a good number of months at the start of the year, and all you want to do is play matches. So I think the new system definitely keeps players' motivation high and their desire to train, and it definitely helps. And the split season to me as a player has been a massive success. Like, it just takes away any, I suppose, pulling and dragging between club and county, and you're able to devote your time to your county first, and you're able to give your full time to your club then as well, and you're not being pulled and dragged and getting into the club there the week of a match and then you're gone again for another 4 or 5 weeks, was something I used to hate. Whereas now, like, once the club championship starts, you're there every night you train, you're there for every match, you're there the same as everybody else, and that really, really appeals to me. And it just means that you're able to give your full attention to both intercounty and to your club, and it's something that I've really, really enjoyed over the last couple of years. And obviously with COVID it did change it up a small bit, but I think it's come out the good side of it now with the split season, and it's something that I would be a huge advocate of as a player.
Well, listen, we wish you the very best of luck as the captain next year. Thanks a million for joining us. Cheers, Noel.
Thanks very much, guys.
It's Noel McGrath, our Tipp captain, talking to us.